Good evening, Twin Valley Elementary Center families, and welcome to TVEC's Back to School Night. Now, obviously, it's a lot different this year, and if you're hearing me right now, it means that you got to the jumping off point for all of our Back to School Night festivities. And hopefully you'll enjoy the live Zoom sessions with your child's teacher, as well as get to know a little bit more of our staff, departments, special areas, etc. So click on the links as well to see welcome videos from all of our staff members. Wanted to take this moment to go through some items. I know there's a lot of concern out there, coming into school and reopening plans, but I wanted to make sure that you were assured that we put every possible thing in place to make sure our students and staff remain safe and healthy. I will go through some items that I've had lots of questions about, and I will also send this information to you via an email blast tomorrow morning as well, just so you have that information in writing. First thing I wanted to tackle tonight is our protocols for arrival. So going to be a little bit different this year. Parent drop-off is going to be actually the same in that area at the art room door. So parents will remain in their cars. The students will exit on the passenger side of the vehicle, and we'll follow the social distancing markers into the building at the art room door. And we'll make sure that we have staff out there to greet them and make sure that they know where they're going within the school. The parent drop-off is going to open up at 8:50. The school days has changed a little bit this year, where we're 15 minutes later than previous years. But I wanted to make sure we open up the parent drop-off doors at 8:50 so we can get the parent drop-off students into the building and to their classrooms before the buses open up at 9 a.m. Bus drop-off. We're supposed to have all our buses here at 9 a.m. And what we're going to do is a lot different this year. We're actually going to be doing 2 buses at a time, and they'll be at the top normal area where they always come in by the front door. And what they're going to do is 2 buses at a time are going to release their top blue students and their top red students. So if your child's classroom is in one of those 2 neighborhoods, they will be getting off the bus first, as well as any students that might be going to the cafeteria for breakfast. Once those students are off of those 2 buses and following the social distance markers into the building, those buses will actually go around the parking lot and enter the bottom parking lot of our building, where they will be dropping off bottom blue and bottom red students. Again, we'll have staff members assisting and social distancing markers in place and helping the students get to their classroom. That will keep going for the next kind of repeat 4 times, and we have 9 buses altogether scheduled to arrive at TVEC on Thursday. So that is our bus drop-off, trying to be safe, have kids go into 4 different entrances, and to make sure we keep that physical distancing within our building and outside our building. Next thing I wanted to talk about is attendance. Attendance is, the PDE put out some different rules compared to spring for attendance. So obviously our in-person students will be marked present when they're in school. Our virtual streaming students, they will be part of the Zoom session with the class. And if they're assigned additional work during guided reading groups, then the completion of that work will also count towards attendance. So at the elementary level, we basically have AM attendance and PM attendance. So we got to make sure that we have you guys present for both of those periods in order to get credit. Anytime you want to send in any lunch money, notes, anything like that, please do so. The teachers are going to be instructed to have the notes put into an envelope outside of their doors for secretaries to pick up. That way we don't have students delivering messages or notes or lunch money and moving around the building. Next up is dismissal, and I want to talk to you a little bit about dismissal as well. First one is parent pickup, because this is going to look a little bit different than other years. The parent pickup location is going to be on the playground side parking lot at the gym entrance to the building. And we'll have staff members there. Our students will get called up to the gymnasium, and they'll be seated physically distanced from each other. We have squares put out for them to sit. And there's also distance markers outside the door as you walk up to sign your child out. Please make sure to wear a mask. We want to make sure that we keep all of us safe and healthy. and you'll sign your child out, and we will give a call, and your child will then greet you at the door, and you'll be on your way. For bus pickup, it's going to be different as well. Buses will be, and actually, let me go back. We will call parent pickup at approximately 3:38. So I would expect the first student to be leaving for parent pickup around 3:40. Bus pickup is going to start around 3:42, and we're going to do the same thing as we did with the arrival. We're going to do 2 buses at a time, and we're going to call the upper neighborhoods, top red and top blue, and those students will be with a staff member who will escort them socially distanced to their bus. Those first 2 buses, once loaded, will go around to the bottom side of the building, and bottom blue neighborhoods and bottom red neighborhoods will be helped outside following the social distancing as well. So we'll do 2 at a time and go through our 9 buses. Movement around the school, I think I had said this before, but movement is one way. So anytime class is traveling in a large group, the movement in the hallways is one way. We have direction signs going all the way through the building. That way we are not passing each other. We're going to keep physical distance using the markers on the floor. There are going to be times where some students will go against the one way, and that's just if the neighborhood bathroom is being used to go across the hall to use the bathroom, rather than trying to walk one person all the way around the school. And speaking of bathrooms, neighborhood bathrooms, what we're going to do is they're only going to be used by students from that neighborhood. So if your child's classroom teacher is in top red, they will be utilizing that top red bathroom only. And the reason we're doing this is we want to make sure that we have sign outs and times for the bathroom in each classroom. That way, if we need to do any contact tracing or anything like that, we'll make sure we have that information. Students will be simply instructed to go to the bathroom, knock on the door first. If the bathroom is empty, they may proceed to go into the bathroom and use it, of course, washing their hands afterwards. If they knock and someone is in the bathroom, then we do have social distancing markers outside the bathroom for 2 additional students to wait to use the bathroom. If a student gets there and there's already 2 students waiting, that student's going to have to return to class and wait for a little bit later time to use the bathroom. Next thing I wanted to talk about is specials. Now specials this year, again, to reduce the amount of transitions within the building, we decided to have 3 of our 4 specials to go into the classroom. So students won't be leaving their classroom, they're actually going to be joined by their special area teachers. So music, art, and library will join the students in the classroom, while PE, of course, we wanted to get the kids up and moving, so they'll be going to the gymnasium to meet with Ms. McHugh to get started with their class. Additionally, we'll try to get outside with gym as much as possible. So hopefully we'll have some good weather this fall. Lunches is another time that a lot of parents might be thinking about, how is this going to happen? What we're going to do with lunches is we're simply going to have 2 large areas for lunch. So I have in the cafeteria room for up to 30 students to be physically distanced by 6 to 8 feet and facing in the same direction. So we'll have 2 classes that'll use the cafeteria for lunch. And then the other 2 classes in grade levels that have 4 classrooms will be using the LGI. So we'll make sure we keep all our students physically distanced so they can take off their masks and they'll be able to eat their lunches. For recess, I've assigned each grade level a certain time for recess. And within that time period, there are 4 locations on the back recess grounds that they will be able to utilize. So I'm going to have 1 classroom in 1 recess space. They're going to have some new additional items to use at recess, including some pickleball, we have some cornhole, we have some other items just to have their interest and to be socially distanced as they're playing. We'll also do some chalk art and different things like that. So there's going to be 4 locations. Each location will have kind of different main events along with basketballs, footballs, jump ropes, etc. And they'll rotate each day. So classroom A might be using the blacktop and the basketball area one day. The next day they would shift to the next location so that all students have access to all the different items that they can use out there at recess. Masks are required to be worn during recess. However, the classes are been instructed to have a mask break either before or after recess to make sure that they get some time off with their masks as well. Moving on into mask breaks. Just speaking of mask breaks, we're going to have mask breaks throughout the day. I've set up several locations outside the building. In the LGI courtyard, we have 4 large canopies set up so that the students can relax in the shade, get it in mask break, and I'm trying to combine it with a snack break as much as possible as well. We also have a location under the front canopy and the art room door canopy, so that even if there's a little sprinkle out, we'll be able to get outside and utilize that space for a mask break. If the weather is not cooperating and we can't use the outdoor spaces, I've also assigned each class an indoor space as well. We will make sure to wipe off areas after the mask breaks are completed so that the next class that might use that area will have a clean space to go. Also took the steps to make sure that we have only certain classes assigned to certain mask break areas to make sure that we know who's using them and when. There's lots of additional items that I'll be sending out via email blast. I appreciate your grace and your patience as we reopen school this year. Obviously, it's a lot different than previous years, but I think we can do this in a safe and healthy way and make sure we get our kids back to learning. Appreciate any issues that come up with technology. Please let us know. We'll try to solve them as soon as possible for those of you that chose the live streaming options. And again, we're going to practice kindness. We're going to practice collaboration together and really working to keep us safe as we return to school. So enjoy your live Zoom sessions, enjoy seeing the videos from the other departments, and I welcome you to the 2020-2021 school year, and thanks for stopping by.